Hello everybody and good afternoon depending on where you are in this world, and welcome back once again for another video of DIY investing. Over the last couple weeks, I've been looking into a lot of different cyclical charts and long-term strategies, and today I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys a really cool observation that I've made inside of the total market cap. This is including altcoins, this is including Bitcoin. It's really just all of the value inside of cryptocurrency. And this pattern is really amazing because this shows that the new bull run has started, and I can break it down to you based off of the time frames of the previous cycles. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how exact both cycles are and how identical they are really to each other. If you're new and just finding this channel, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates like the one provided for you here. Remember guys, I also have a course in signals. The course is a 20 video series that teaches you guys all of the amazing tips and tricks that I use to profit inside of cryptocurrency. You guys are definitely going to want to check that out if you're a beginner getting into this market and you want some quality content that you can count on to trust to actually make you profits for the next couple years. Now on top of that, I also offer signals, which are a mix of short-term, mid-term, and long-term trades and investments. I do day trading, I do sometimes post-margin trades, generally stick to longer-term investments, and I also help you guys with portfolio management. So that's another thing that you guys are definitely going to want to check out if you guys are new and you want some sound help when it comes to actually profiting inside of the market. All you have to do is just click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. Once you have access, you guys can message me on here, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for the support. The channel's growing so fast, and I'm just so unbelievably excited to host this for you guys. The crypto markets are picking up, and everything is just looking phenomenal heading into this amazing year of 2020. I'm thankful to have you guys a part of it. So, with all that being said, let's jump right in the video today. So here we are, guys, taking a look at the total market cap. This is all of the cryptocurrency value that we have inside of the market. The reason why I wanted to share with you guys this chart is because we only have so much price data to actually go off of because the altcoins have only been charted for so long. It's only been so long that they've been out, and so we only have a limited amount of data. But with even that small amount of data, we have a couple striking correlations that I found inside of this market between the last cycle and then the one that we're currently in today. Now, I do believe that this next cycle is going to be very profitable for altcoins. I do believe that Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to drop off and kind of bleed into those altcoins. And so I think that this next major bull run could be a time where majority altcoins outperform Bitcoin. But I still strongly believe that Bitcoin is that safe haven to put your money away because it's the safest, most continuous trend that we have inside of crypto. And so you're not going to have quite as much volatility. And so with Bitcoin, I still feel like that's the prize asset that you want to be accumulating more. But I do believe the altcoins, majority of them will continue to outperform Bitcoin. Now, what we're going to see here, guys, is we're going to break down my cyclical analysis inside of this market because I want to show you guys how I can prove to you that the total market cap is now in this new bull phase. And we have a number of different analytical points that I can pull up and really just show you guys how it's possible. So what we have here is this trending resistance, right? Now, this is on the log scale, obviously. This is the logarithmic chart. Now, based off of Elliott wave theory, we have finished a one wave, we retraced, we finished a three wave. So basically, the entire move from about 2015, the start of 2016, about right here, to the top in 2018 was basically our three wave. And so from that point, this last bear market that we just had was us retracing into the four. Now, what just happened from our December lows back in 2019, we impulsed upwards of 14K in Bitcoin, and the total market cap kind of followed suit. Now, after that point, we've really just started this new trend. This was the first real impulse on that new trend, that new parabolic trend that we're just starting in this new bull run, right? Now, what's coming next is a final five wave impulse. And this is the way the Elliott wave theory works. Now, I don't know exactly how high this is going to get, and I'm not trying to sit here and draw exact price targets. We could have, you know, kind of the way that I'm basing where I'm going to take profits isn't necessarily through exact price targets, but it's more based around time frames. And I'm going to share with you guys exactly how I'm doing that. Now, what we're going to see is a big 5 wave. Now, it could be shorter in duration. Sometimes the 5 wave can be the same size as the 1, so that would have been about this move here. And other times, the 5 wave can get overextended, and it could be like the 3 wave. And so we have no idea what's going to happen. But with this being the real wave and the real cycle where institutions get involved, this one could get very, very parabolic. And so kind of what we're seeing here is we have this resistance. I think that we'll go back up for a couple more years, and we've just basically started that new trend, right? Now, what's interesting to me, guys, is once I continue to add more details towards this chart, you're going to start to understand exactly how the cycles line up so identically, and then we're going to be able to make assumptions as to why that's the case. Now, what I've noticed inside of the markets and what I've been reporting on for a while now is the fact that at the new year is a very strong time for reversals. And so let's go through here and apply that theory to this chart, and let's kind of see how the halvings line up with it. And not only the halvings, but let's take a look and actually just see how all of the cycles line up in all of the ways that I found. So if we go through here, let's label the 1st of January. So the 1st of January, for whatever reason, is a strong time of reversals, whether it's on the upside or whether it's on the downside. Now, Bitcoin had its major rally, and Bitcoin itself even rallied from way below here, but altcoins weren't around. And so the total market cap is going to be mirroring the altcoin market cap as well. And so based off of the altcoins, they've only been around for really a 1 wave and a 3 wave, whereas Bitcoin's been around for much longer. And so taking a look here, we can see that right around the new year, we get a top. Now, even though we fell a little bit shortly before, that was nearly the very top of the cycle before we retraced, right? And then we went into a bear market. Now, the way that I found that the cycles work is they go in 2-year increments from the time of a bear market correction all the way to a bull market correction and reversal. And so this would have been the 1st of 2014. So 2 years from that time frame would have put us at the 1st of 2016. Now, the 1st of 2016 would put us right here. And so then we would label this one green because this would have been really our bullish reversal. And so what we can see here is the fact that we're catching the majority of the trend taking place here inside of the total market cap. From reversal to reversal, it's a 2-year increment. And it's really crazy because that's almost the exact top of the cycle. And if you would have just traded based off of this time frame analysis, you would have probably done better than almost 95% plus of the market. Now, what happens next is we go into our 2-year bull phase. And so now we had our 2-year bear phase, that reversed with this move here. Now, this is where it starts a 2-year bull phase. So 2016, 2 years later, takes us to 2018. That would be January 1st. And this one's red because it's a bearish reversal. Now, look at this, guys. We're seeing that this would have been a perfect place to take your profits, just based off of knowing this simple formula that the market goes in 2-year increments before we see a reversal, either a bearish reversal or a bullish reversal. But by playing this pattern, you're almost taking profits at the exact top every single time. And so if we keep applying this strategy, if 2018 was the top, 2 years from that point would have put us at January 1st of 2020. And I've been telling you guys this a lot. And you guys know, based off of my analysis, that this is something that I've been updating you guys recently because I was expecting this to play out as a reversal heading into the new year. And want to know what's really crazy about this? The literal day that we pretty much started uptrending was right after the new year. And so this is why I've been watching this pattern, guys. It's really insane to me just how identical we're seeing the 2 cycles line up here. I mean, this is almost the same exact market cycle. We top at January 1st. We have a year of downtrend. So now this is actually where I'm going to dive in and get even more analytical. And I'm going to show you guys some even more similarities between the charts that's going to really show you guys just how exact these cycles line up. So January 1st of 2014. Now, instead of doing 2-year increments, let's actually break it down into 1-year increments, and let's see how the cycles line up inside of the bearish end. Now, what I've noticed inside of the bearish cycle is that a year from 2014 basically puts us at capitulation of 2015. Now, this would have almost been the exact bottom of the cycle, and we can see that right here. So based off of these 1 year increments, we're basically almost selling the exact top, and then we're almost buying the exact bottom based off of that. And so we can see that. We only had one more short-term sell-off before that was almost the exact bottom. And if you would have just known based off of playing the reversals in January, you would have known when it was a good time to be buying, when it was a good time to be selling, and you would have been able to calculate all of these things based off of the way that the market structure works and price action, right? Now, if we go into this bear market, we're going to see roughly the same sort of correlations. Now, the top of the cycle puts us here. Now, a year from that point would have put us at 2019. So 2019, January 1st of 2019 was actually almost the exact bottom in our last cycle. So in the first cycle, we topped it almost January 1st. The exact top was almost at January 1st, and then we sold off for a year. Now, almost the exact bottom of capitulation was a year from that point. And then we know a year from that point, or 2 years from the point of the original reversal, we know that the bull run starts. And so this is the way that these cycles are actually broken down, guys. And it's so crazy to me how close that these line up together, which is why I'm actually basing my exit strategy solely around time frames, because I feel like I'm much more accurate at predicting a time frame and basing a trade around a time frame than I am ever trying to predict price, because everybody knows it's like impossible to predict price. You can have price targets, but it really doesn't mean a whole lot at the end of the day. And so when it comes for me to take profits, I do it in a completely different way that probably most people would never think about. And so by taking a look at this, guys, we can see here that we go through 3 different cycle phases before the new bull run. This is really crazy, guys. I really cannot stress this enough. I hope everybody sees this, because if you watch this video, you're going to know exactly what's coming into crypto and what's about to happen based off of these cycles. Now, we get the reversal. So this is phase 1, right? Now, the reversal is the top. This is the bearish reversal. And then we go into a 1 year bear phase, right? The market's downtrend consistently lower lows and lower highs all the way down. And then a year from that point is almost the exact bottom of capitulation, right? And so this is phase 2. Now, we go through this accumulation phase after this point, and then this sets us up for phase 3. Now, phase 3 is the accumulation phase, and then our first breakout right here. This is where we actually break out of these lows and make a higher high. And then this is phase 3, right? And this is the way that the 3 cycles, or the 2 cycles, are lining up, I should say. Now, this takes us into a 2-year bull run. Now, previously, we had a 2-year bear market. Well, I guarantee you if you would have drawn this same pattern inside of Bitcoin, it would have followed this same cycle. But this is only charting with altcoins, right? You got to remember that. So as far as altcoins have been around, they've been doing this exact trend, right? Now, this takes us into a 2-year bull phase. Now, after 2 years, we top at the new year, and this cycle starts again. We top here. This is phase 1, right? Now, we go for a 1 year bear cycle, lower lows and lower highs. Now, this takes us to the bottom of capitulation, and this is phase 2, right? Phase 2. And then we go into phase 3. And I'm actually going to delete this so it's easier to see. And phase 3 happened a little bit quicker this time around. Phase 3 didn't stay in accumulation as long, and phase 3 had an even bigger rise out of these lows that we saw back in December of 2019. Now, but we remember that the 2 cycles are still the same though. Now, we went through accumulation, and then we made our first higher high and breakout of this downtrend, which would have been the same as this entire move right here. These lows down in January of 2019, all the way upwards of 14K in Bitcoin, and then back down. This is the same sort of move. It's just a little bit different because the cycles are different, right? But we can see that this is the exact same trend. And we're seeing how even the time frames based off of reversals in the last cycle line up still to this day. The only real difference that we saw was a longer accumulation period inside of the last cycle, whereas this one's breaking out and going higher much quicker. And so I think that we're going to continue to see that the way that this cycle plays out. It still might ride a consistent uptrend, but that uptrend might be much higher and more parabolic than this one was. And so that's something that we're going to have to see. But guys, this is the analysis that I had for you. I wanted to share this with you because it's really crazy to me how identical the cycles are. And this is really how I've been trading and basing my analysis on from my own personal analysis. Now, this is the type of stuff that I like to share inside of my group. And so this is the type of stuff that we cover with portfolio management. So if you guys have questions regarding that, make sure you guys join my Discord server by clicking the invitation link in the description of this video. It's really important that we get as many people in the knowing of what's taking place, because this is how you guys make life-changing money. I've been doing this for the last 4 years, so I have somewhat of a complete understanding on how these markets behave and move. And not only that, but I trade bigger time frames. So when I look at a bigger time frame, I know exactly what the big picture trend is doing. And so all of the short-term chop and stuff that happens in the shorter time frames, I'm not worried about that because it literally has no effect on the bigger time frame. The bigger time frame is showing a beautiful parabolic trend that's forming, and the way that the cycle time frames are actually lining up with this and how they apply to the previous cycle is just insane to me, because it shows you guys just how correlated all the cycles are inside of cryptocurrency. Now, before we finish up this video, we have one more final thing that I want to talk about. Now, because this is the charting of the altcoins, we don't have the same sort of price history, but this is still a chart of Bitcoin. So something that needs to be talked about into this video is going to be the halving. Now, we only have 2 halvings to chart, and really there's only one right now inside of this chart. But what we're coming up on very soon, I think less than 100 days away, is the next halving, May 15th, 2020. And this is where we're going to experience a major supply shock inside of Bitcoin's price. So because Bitcoin is actually charted inside of this and the altcoins, we're going to include the halvings, and we're going to kind of see how that adds up. Maybe it'll make a comparison. I don't really know, but we're going to look at this real quick. Now, the first halving took place sometime in July of 2016. I believe. I could be completely wrong on that. But I do know approximately the time frame where they came. I don't know the exact day, but I know where they took place. Now, what's coming up next is May 15th, 2020 is right here. So we're about to experience another halving event. And what happens thus far previously, what we've experienced based off of the halvings, is after the halving, it creates this supply shock. And what that means is the mining reward gets cut in half. And so the amount of new Bitcoins that are created and produced out in that new circulating supply are actually cut in half every 4 years. And so this creates even more scarcity, and it drives a lot of new demand for Bitcoin. And we see a massive parabolic run that happens shortly after that. Really, we go through these accumulation phases, and then shortly after the Bitcoin halving is when prices go parabolic into price discovery. Now, we can see here that I think that smart money is playing this time frame trend. And I want to share with you guys why. I think that I don't think that the halving itself is priced in, but I do believe smart money precedes the halving event, and they know that that's coming, and so they're accumulating beforehand. They're accumulating before the halving takes place, so that they're the ones that make the most amount of money. Now, this is really cool, this analysis here, and I can't stress it enough how it's very important that we follow long time frames so we know exactly what's happening moving forward on the big picture trend. Because if you don't know what's happening on a big picture, you're never going to have any idea what to even trade when you're trading shorter time frames. Now, here's the way it works, guys. We go through our reversal at the new year. New year is a strong time of reversals in cryptocurrency. Now, this was almost the exact top back here in 2014, 2013 timeframes, right? Now, this starts a 1-year downtrend. 1 year from that would be January 1st of 2015. And we can see that that's almost the exact bottom of capitulation of that bearish trend. And so the one phase 1 is the top of the bull trend, phase 2 is the bottom of the bear trend, and phase 3 is the start of the new bull trend. And we can see that that took place here. We went through accumulation and made our first higher high with this ascending triangle that took place back here in 2016. Now, not only that, but it also takes place exactly 1 year from the bottom of the bearish trend at January 1st of 2016. Now, what's interesting to me is the fact that the halving takes place probably half a year, about 6 months after this third phase. And so I think that smart money is accumulating based off of this simple principle. They know how the cycles work based off of time frames, and they're accumulating them based off of this. Now, what takes place after the halving, or roughly 6 months after our third phase, is our new parabolic event, right? After the halving is where market goes completely parabolic. And so if we follow and we know that this cyclical analysis can be based around the new year turning point or the reversals, we can trade based off of this halving event. And we know that if we accumulate in phase 1, 2, and 3, all we have to know is if we accumulate before the halving, we are in a good place of accumulation because it's right after the halving where the market goes parabolic. And so as long as you would have bought, even if you bought the very top of phase 1 or the high of the previous cycle, as long as you hold, you're still going to make a significant amount of money. Because, I mean, look at how far this thing actually increased in price after. Roughly 50x past the all-time high. Even if you would have bought the very all-time high, you still would have made a 50x return. So that's what we're talking about here, guys, is the fact that even if the markets have impulsed pretty high, even if you're feeling like you didn't accumulate enough, we still have time here. We've probably got another 6 months. Well, we have less than that because the halving is about 100 days away, less than that now. But we can see here that the cycles are lining up identically, guys. And what we have here is a really short amount of time before we actually experience that next halving event. And so what I think is going to happen is we'll continue on in this uptrend. And then who knows how slow and parabolic it'll get. But I think that after the halving, we could experience a short-term sell-off. Maybe we continue to keep going parabolic. Now, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but then after the halving is where the market goes really parabolic. And so we should see something along the lines of this, whether we break out of the all-time high or at least hit the all-time high in the next impulse that we're about to see and then sell off right after the halving. I don't know how it's going to work, but that would be kind of my guess and strategy. So I wanted to share this with you guys because this to me is the most important chart that we can look at if you're an altcoin holder or investor. I think that this is the most important thing that we can look at because the cycles line up almost identically. And if you can get this much proven accuracy from a big picture trend, then there's really no reason to be basing your strategy on anything else, in my opinion. I mean, sure that there might be other things that are at least this accurate, but I think that the majority of people out there that are investing in the cryptocurrency don't have a plan that is almost this similar, is what I should say, almost this exact. And so this is the way that I'm actually playing based off of my investing. Now, the way I'm going to take profits is based off of this same cyclical analysis. 2-year bull run is what I'm expecting. So a 2-year bull run would probably take place somewhere out here. I have no idea 2 years because the time frame doesn't even go that high on this chart. But it would be something along the lines of this. And so about 2 years from now, I'm going to be looking to take profits. I have no idea how high this is going to get. And so I think that it's more accurate if I base me taking profits around this exact setup because it's much easier for me to do that. So this is the video I had for you guys. If you found any value to this, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more updates. I really do appreciate all the support you guys give me. It really does mean a lot to me. Remember, if you're looking for portfolio management or signals, or even you want to watch my educational content, my course videos, make sure you guys join the Discord server by clicking the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get full access to that. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much. I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.